Appreciate you, Doc. Kali Matrix, the official NCAA selector that legitimized UCF's national championship claim, currently has Cincy number 1, BYU number 2, Coastal Carolina number 5. All right, I guess Kali Matrix is about to crash the RJ Young Show podcast because, let's look at the Kali's bias-free Matrix ranking. 11-22. Cincinnati at number 1. I'm going to drop this in the chat because Doc is staying on it. For those of you who don't know, Doc's a moderator on the channel. And 1, he got my back. And 2, he's just the coolest with coming up with this sort of information. Also, Doc is the reason why I ended up entering the Natural Light Beer Scholarship competition that I ended up winning. Because he's like, yo, RJ, I think you could win this. It's wild. So Cincinnati at 1, BYU at 2, Alabama at 3, Northwestern at 4. What? 5-0 Pat Fitzgerald's at 4. Coastal Carolina, the Chanticleers. Chanticleer. It's okay. I know I'm not the only person that watched Rockadoodle. At 5, Notre Dame at 6 with a win over Clemson. Yikes. Marshall at 7. Miami at 8, who beat Clemson, or who got beat by Clemson. ULL, Lafayette's a one-loss team. They're at 9. Clemson's at 10. Western Michigan's at 11. The MAC is in here. Maction, what's good? San Jose State, the Spartans are in here. Holy crap, Tulsa's at number 13. It's a one-loss team. That's my alma mater. What the hell? Oregon at 14. Nevada at 15. Ohio State at 16. I love these rankings. What are we doing? Wow. West Collie, man. Making it happen. Look at this. Florida at number 17. USC at number 18. Oklahoma State at number 19. Texas A&M at 20. Texas A&M beat Florida. Oh my God. Boise State at 21. Buffalo at 22. Florida Atlantic at 23. Willie Taggart still stunting on Florida State. SMU at 24 and Iowa State at 25. My God, what are we doing with these? This is fantastic. This is fantastic. Oh my, this is fantastic. For those of you who don't know, Kali Matrix was included in the Bowl Championship Series computer models for a long time. I love this. I love this so much. I love this so much because I can understand how you might get there. I can understand how you might get there. But the fact that he did this is remarkable. And he links to how he does the modeling and simulation analysis at the University of Alabama in Huntsville. For those of you that, actually want to take a look at how these things are put together. I, at least right now, don't particularly care because I think that this is all rather fascinating. Just awesome. I love this. So the best game that Cincinnati has played is number 24 SMU, and they're at number 1. The best game that BYU has played is number 21 Boise State, and they're number 2. What? Oklahoma State's best game is against the Tulsa team, and apparently they have 2 top 25 wins in the Matrix, which is interesting. All the way interesting. Who is at 26? Georgia's at 26! Yes! I love this! What are we doing? For those of you that want to know, Oklahoma's at 30. I don't particularly care. It's a 2-loss team. Good God, man. Texas is at 35. Liberty's at 34. This is great. This is outstanding. Whatever. Let me hold on. Texas Christian is 73. Who's at the bottom? Vanderbilt's at the bottom, 0-7. Okay. Goodness me. And then you got the FCS groups that are Arkansas's at 77 above Hawaii, UCLA, Minnesota, Wyoming, Charlotte, West Kentucky, and LSU. Good God, man. This is awesome. Doc, appreciate you dropping the Kali Matrix in here. It has made me feel so good. Y'all should go check that out just for your own giggles and your own entertainment, because college football is wonk and stupid, and this is wonk and stupid but awesome. Let me see what else we got in here. Let's see. Can we expand the playoff this year? We could, but we won't. We won't. Like they made that pretty clear. Like, I do ESPN Radio on the weekends. Saturday game night, we did a 6-hour show. I'm not kidding. I was on the radio for 6 hours doing national radio, talking about college football, NFL, even UFC 255. And along the way, Heather Dinich and Brad Edwards joined the show. And I got to ask them both, like, who do you think gets in? Who do you think is not going to get in? Heather Dinich is basically college football playoff reporter at this time of the year. And there's been no movement on expanding the playoffs since like September, when Larry Scott asked that they consider it, because the Pac-12 wasn't going to start the season until November to feel like they get boxed out, and they would. And everybody else in there was like, "Nah, son, we're not going to do that. It's going to be 4 teams." And like, I think if they wanted to expand it, ESPN would be all for it, because ESPN, like literally everybody else on planet Earth, has lost money. And growing the inventory is going to be the best way to recoup that money, which is the other reason why I believe we're going to see the expanded playoffs, if not next year, the year after. To 6, probably. But I would love to see it just go to 16, because I want to see those bowl games actually mean something. And I'm here for home and home games, like for home site games. I also would love the idea of playing a 10-game conference schedule that leads into your playoff situations, where you get your 4 games to get your national champion. I think that's going to be fun. And I've made this video in those segments like 87 times, and I'll probably continue to keep doing those, because I think your 8-game playoff sucks. I think your 6-game playoff sucks. Let's see. Nobody wants to play the Sooners. I mean, Iowa State and Kansas State wanted to play them. Sam holding back Texas from an offensive scheme point. Maybe, but it ain't like he ain't got, Casey Thompson back there. Anytime that they wanted to throw Casey Thompson in there, you can see how the other half lives. Let's see. I think OU just needs a solid bowl win to have some solid momentum and confidence heading into next season. I'm not even there yet, man. I don't particularly care to talk about the bowl game, especially presently. Like, it's a pandemic. I don't know that you can take anything from this season and call it momentum. I mean, surely the team that wins the national championship is going to call it momentum. But like, the thing that I am really frustrated by right now is the idea that there's going to be a Coastal Carolina, a Marshall, a BYU, a Cincinnati that runs the table undefeated. And we're going to try to invalidate their national championship in the coming years because of the pandemic, which I think is going to be wrong. If anything, it's a more difficult national championship to win. The idea that you could play 10 plus games in this season and not lose any of them is just remarkable to me. And if you can do it, by all means, you get to be a national champion, if not the national champion, because that's just that'd be such an accomplishment under the present circumstances. I mean, Florida State's backing out of games against Clemson because of a positive COVID player. That's how short the margins are. Wisconsin's only played 3 games this season because they've had to quarantine and contact trace, like across the board. We've seen this. Maryland hadn't played in 2 weeks. It's like that. So if you have enough games on the schedule where you can claim a national championship, I'm for it. Now, where I think it's going to be interesting is, what if you have a team that only plays 4 or 5 games, but is undefeated in those 4 or 5 games, and then can't play anymore because of COVID? If they claim a national championship like it's 1912, are we going to take it from them? Probably not. If that's what you want to do, by all means, go do that. Couldn't be me. I'm not here to just claim arbitrary national championships. Carl Joseph, that's right. Back from earlier when I talked about West Virginia, Carl Joseph, thank you. Appreciate y'all. I just got to that part in the chat. If Texas loses this week, Herman has to be gone, right? I would tend to think so. Tom Herman got an opportunity to retool his entire coaching staff and still be the head coach. He got to add Mike Yurcich from Ohio State. Add Chris Ash, who was fired at Rutgers, but who had been at Ohio State. He got to bring in the Indiana defensive line coach. He got to make all sorts of moves, and they put together an outstanding recruiting class once again. Bijan Robinson, I really, really love his game. Joshua Moore has come on. Brendan Eagles is still that dude. They added Tarek Black. I don't know what the hell's going on over there. They added Brandon Schooler. Like Caden Stearns, I keep wanting that dude to make the leap. Joseph Asai has been a maniac. Yeah, you got to beat Iowa State, and you got to get to the Big 12 championship game. Ideally, I would say Herman's on borrowed time if he doesn't win a Big 12 championship. And right now, he'd have to run the table. I don't see him doing it, but, anything's possible. I tend to believe he's gone, though. I do. Let me see. And I am an IU fan. Let me see. Somebody in here is talking. IU Bloomington not even ranked. In the Collie Matrix. Let me see. Let me check.